In 2011, a family moved into a quiet neighborhood in Gary, Indiana, looking for a fresh start. The house was just a normal rental home on Carolina Street, but according to the family who lived there, something was already waiting for them inside. A mother named Latoya Almonds moved into the home with her 3 children and her mother, Rosa Campbell. At first, everything seemed normal until strange things started happening. The family claimed that not long after moving in, they noticed something unusual. Large numbers of black flies began appearing around the house, even during the cold winter months. Then came the sounds. Footsteps walking through the basement, and doors opening, and noises coming from rooms where nobody was. The family said they started feeling like they were not alone. But what happened next is what turned this house from a strange story into one of the most famous modern hauntings cases in America. According to Latoya and her family, they began seeing shadowy figures inside the home. Her mother claimed she saw what looked like a dark figure moving through the house. They also reported finding strange footsteps and hearing voices. At this point, the family began searching for help. They contacted churches, paranormal investigators, and eventually the police. But things became even more disturbing. The most controversial cases involved Latoya's children. The family claimed the children began acting strangely, speaking in unusual voices, and experiencing attacks from something they could not see. One of the most talked about incidents involved a claim that a child was seen moving up a wall backwards. The story gained attention because police officers, child services workers, and medical professionals became involved. Former police officer Charles Austin later said that the case was unlike anything he had encountered, but not everyone believed the story. Some investigators questioned what really happened inside the home. Some believe that they could have been psychological explanations, while others believe the family experienced something genuinely unexplained. And the debate is exactly why this case became so famous, because unlike many ghost stories, this one involved real people outside the family who documented parts of what happened. Eventually, the family left the home, but the story was far from over, because years later, one of the most famous paranormal investigators in the world decided to buy the home himself, and that investigator's name was Zach Bagans.
Get away from me. Get away. Back the fuck up.
After hearing about the Almonds case, paranormal investigator and host of hit TV show Ghost Adventures, Zach Bagans, became fascinated with the story. In 2014, Bagans purchased the property in Gary, Indiana. His plan was to investigate the house and create a documentary about what happened there. The documentary, titled Demon House, followed Bagans and his team as they investigated the property. During filming, Bagans claimed strange events happened inside the house, including equipment failures and unsettling experiences among the crew. The documentary became one of the most talked about paranormal films in recent years, but then something unexpected happened. Instead of opening the house for more investigators, Zach Bagans decided to destroy it. In 2016, the Demon House was demolished. Bagans said he wanted the location gone and believed nobody should live there again. After the demolition, the house itself disappeared. No more investigators, no more visitors. Only the stories remained. That is what makes the Demon House case so interesting, because years later people are still asking the same questions. Was this really a case of paranormal activity? Was it a family experiencing something they couldn't explain? Was it really a case of paranormal activity? Or was there another explanation hiding behind the story? As to why Zach Bagans demolished the house in the documentary and in his personal account, he witnessed a demon. He saw it with his own eyes, and he claims that that demon messed with his vision. After that documentary and that, Zach Bagans' his family is known for wearing glasses now. That is a large reason why Zach Bagans decided to destroy the home, because he himself just did not want anyone to experience anything else like that. But one thing is undeniable: the demon house became one of the strangest and most debated haunting cases of the 21st century. Because sometimes the scariest part of a haunted house isn't what happened inside, it's the fact that we'll never know the full truth. There are thousands of haunted houses stories around the world. Most of them are just rumors. Strange noises here, a shadow there, a story passed down from one person to another. But every once in a while, a story happens that involves something different. A person moves into a house, and instead of a house being haunted, the house seems to become interested in them. This is the story of the Sallie House, a small 2-story house sitting in Atchison, Kansas, a house that would become one of America's most famous paranormal locations. Before investigators, before cameras, and before ghost hunters arrived, it was just a normal family home. In the 1990s, a man named Tony Pickman moved into the house with his wife, Deborah. At first, everything seemed completely normal. There was nothing about the home that immediately looked frightening. It wasn't an abandoned mansion. It wasn't a creepy castle. It was just an ordinary house in a quiet neighborhood. But according to Tony, things started changing slowly. At first, it was small. Objects seemed to move. Unexplained sounds came from empty rooms, and then came something much harder to ignore. Tony claimed that he started to feel like something inside the house did not want him in it. The story became connected to a ghost named Sallie. According to the legend, Sallie was a young girl who lived in the home decades earlier. The story claims that when she felt seriously ill, her parents decided to call a doctor, and when the doctor got there and put her into surgery, something went extremely wrong. He discovered that Sallie's appendix was ruptured, and after the botched operation, Sallie did not survive. And according to believers, her spirits remain inside the house. However, there is no confirmed historical record proving Sallie's story happened exactly as described. That uncertainty is what makes this case so controversial. But Tony wasn't just hearing stories. He claimed he was experiencing things himself. According to him, the activity became more and more aggressive as the days stretched on. He described scratches and marks being left on his body. He even claimed that something was attacking him. And eventually, he started to document what was happening in the home and to him and his family. Photos, recordings, notes. He wrote down as much as he could. He took photos of whatever he could, and he recorded anything that he could capture, anything to prove something unusual was happening. Then came the moment that made the Sallie House famous. Tony said he began feeling like whatever was in the house was not a harmless ghost. It felt angry, believed the activity was connected to something much darker. Others believed Tony was experiencing something psychological caused by the stress and fear of living in a place believed to be haunted. But regardless of what someone believes, the reports coming from the house were enough to attract paranormal investigators from around the world. When paranormal investigators arrived at the Sallie House, they weren't just looking for a ghost story. They wanted evidence to show what was actually happening in the house and to the family. They brought cameras, audio recorders, temperature equipment, and devices designed supposedly to detect unexplained activity. During the investigators, some claimed they captured strange voices and unexplained events. The most famous claim from the house involved electronic voice phenomenon, or EVPs. Skeptics argue these sounds can often be caused by background noise, interference, or people interpreting random sounds as words. The Sallie House eventually gained more attention due to paranormal investigators on television. One of the biggest investigations that took place in the house was by the team ghost adventures. The crew spent time inside the house attempting to document paranormal activity. During the investigation, they reported strange experiences and claimed they captured unusual evidence. But the story of the Sallie House took another turn. Over time, the house became a famous destination for paranormal tourism. People traveled to Atchison, Kansas, hoping to experience something unexplained. Some visitors claimed they felt something watching them. Others reported strange sounds, scratches, and other feelings of fear. But others visited and experienced absolutely nothing. So what really happened inside the Sallie House? Was it truly haunted by the spirit of a little girl? Or was it something darker? Or did years of stories, fear, and expectations create an environment where people began experiencing unusual things? Nobody has been able to prove one answer, and maybe that's why the house remains famous and even haunted. Because the scariest mysteries aren't always the ones with answers. Sometimes they're the ones where the evidence leaves you wondering, what if it was real? For the family, the house was a regular house on a regular street, in a regular neighborhood, in a regular town, in a regular state. It wasn't supposed to be anything haunted. It wasn't supposed to be scary. It wasn't supposed to be paranormal. It was supposed to be a home for them. And yet, it became a place with trauma and a place they will never forget. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, I'll leave you with these two stories. By the way, hello, I'm Flearu. Make sure to subscribe, like, and comment more stories if you have some of your own, or if you want me to cover a certain story, please leave that in the comments. Also, go follow me on Twitch. Subscribe to me on there too, if you want. Thank you guys for being here. Goodbye.